The month of May has been pretty good for Joy Taylor for all the wrong reasons. It's not like she's been going viral on sports talk radio or on Fox or anything like that. But Joy Taylor has made a series of podcast interviews or podcast shows that she's hosted in which several clips have went viral. Now, the beauty of these podcast collaborations is that Joy Taylor can express herself more freely in comparisons to what she would do on Fox Sports. And of course, we get to see the real side of Joy Taylor. A lot of personality and, of course, booty clapping conditions. It all started when she visited this podcast and she really took a serious shot at men. And I thought this was interesting.
So rolling back of women's rights and this push that women have somehow created this world where there's too much equality and we can make choices about when we have children, and that marriage rates are dropping because nobody wants to deal with a cheating alcoholic man when you can just get your own apartment. Yeah. Guys are lonely. Men in these caves that would never touch a woman in their life anyway have convinced themselves that OnlyFans models are curving them because they sent them $5. Yeah. It is this attack on femininity. It's not about masculinity.
So in her honest opinion, it's not masculinity that is getting attacked. It's these non-P getting lonely men who are deteriorating society that is getting attacked. Now, just imagine if you're a man and you say the opposite thing about women. Oh, these are the single moms who are destroying the entire world. They're deteriorating society. I mean, you would lose your job and everything with it. But Joy Taylor understands she can get away with this, and so she's free to say however she feels. But there's more.
Do you care about the loneliness of the incel?
I think that male loneliness is a massive problem. Okay, so I think non-getting male lonelies are deteriorating society. Yes, I think it is a massive problem.
What do you think the fix is?
One, I think we should legalize prostitution.
Okay.
I have been standing on this for decades, and I think that prostitution should be legalized.
Okay.
They will never do this, but that I think would be a massive solve.
So in this clip, she talks about that prostitution is something that she feels is important. It would help a lot of men in society because they're non-kitty cat getting guys, and that would help them out because they're losers. Fast forward! Let's fast forward to the Too Personal Show. That's a podcast that she was on, and she was on there with a particular sister that I want to assume is living a lesbian lifestyle. And the lady is quite nice. Even though she's a lesbian, it's clear that she's talking about that a lot of women are just mean to men in society for no reason. Check it out.
But are mean. And I think y'all think it's totally okay to be mean because of what men have been to you in society. Yeah. But it's up. I was out with my ex and her friend. We were in Martha's Vineyard. We're hanging out at this bar, and this guy he's trying to talk to them, and her friend is clearly out of this guy's league, but he's trying, and he's not being rude. And he's like, "Hey, yeah, y'all want a drink?" She's like, "No." He's like, "Oh, that's cool. Where y'all from?" She turns to my girl, and she's like, "Why does he keep talking to me?" And I'm like, "This is mean."
But wait. There's more.
When I was younger, I was completely vicious to men, but I'm a public figure now. So if someone approaches me, I don't default to being mean.
Yeah, but that's not good.
Why?
You didn't say I stopped being mean because it's wrong to do. You were like, I'm just in a new position. I can't on these the way I normally would.
So Joy Taylor is admitting that I'm very mean to men. The only reason why I'm not that mean to men is because of who I am, and I'm a public figure. But because of that, I stopped. But if you can listen at her attitude from the previous clips that we saw, she seems to be a pretty mean person and pretty frank and kind of upfront about who she is. I don't have a problem with that. But here's what I want to talk about, guys. Why is it that the chicks that get accused of the most booty clapping and using their vajayjay to move up in the world have the worst attitudes?
You ain't lying.
All of the ladies that I know that were the hood 304s when I was coming up are the ladies that, ended up getting further in life because they got their cheeks clapped. They all have attitudes against men, or they have bad attitudes against men, or men that they don't like, or men in general. But at the same time, they have no problem problem using their looks or using their body to get to where they need to go. And this is the case with Joy Taylor. Remember, Joy Taylor has been accused of doing this for years at Fox Sports. But once it suits her, it's okay. The problem is this: what happens when you're not as beautiful as you once were, and then you're still mean? What does that mean to you? I'll tell you exactly what it means. It means this.
What's the age limit?
Age limit?
As far as youth to older. What's the youngest to the oldest? Like, what's your range?
Damn, I'm telling myself right now. I would say right now, at my age right now. Yeah, I would not date younger than 25, 26.
As you see, she's now open to dating men as young as 25. And the reason is because the men that are her age that have money, the men that she wants, I mean, she's still being mean to them too, but nobody will deal with that.
Damn right.
Only a young guy that she's really attracted to could deliver or even deal with that sort of situation. But at the same time, being mean doesn't mean that you can't be a clapper too. A lot of booty clappers are rude, have a bad attitude, and have had those bad attitudes for years. The only reasons why people put up with it, because mean chicks are pretty good in the bedroom.
You ain't lying.
If you've ever gotten one and you know about it, you know what I'm talking about. The meaner and finer they are, the more clapalicious they are on the waterbed. But it comes a time where old father time says, you can't clap as good as you used to be. And when you're 38, then you become 48. And then when you become 58, well, you don't look as good as you did when you're 48. And then you don't look as good as you did when you're 38. And now guess what? That mean-ass attitude makes you more lonely. Then you end up with somebody broken, dusty like me, because nobody wants to deal with you at all. And the reality is having a good attitude, no matter who comes and talks with you, is always going to be the best situation. Let me give you a story. Story time music. One day, I'm at a bar. It's pretty good. I was in Europe somewhere. There are some young ladies there, and, you know, it's all cracking. So one of the guys that happened to be there, I wasn't with him, he came over there to the lady, and I think that something happened or whatever. She dropped something, and he was just trying to alert her that, you know, hey, this is what's going on or whatever. So the lady had an attitude with him, and he was like, well, look, I'm just trying to help you, and I believe that this is yours and all of that. And she was like, well, I don't, you know, why are you trying to talk to me and all of this stuff? And he's like, wait, listen, it don't have to be, you know, like that. Like, you know, it's don't be perturbed or anything. Like, let me buy you a drink or whatever. But she kept making a big deal out of it. He was like, look, bartender, get her whatever she wants. I'm gonna just walk away. And then the female bartender that was there was like, do you not know that that was the owner of the bar? And she was like, what? She's like, yeah, this is the owner of the bar. And that was one of the most high-end places that was in that city. And so literally you could see the lady, this is a white lady too, by the way. You can see her whole demeanor changing, trying to go over and talk to the guy. And he was real cool about it. Like, oh, you know, it's cold, whatever. And she was the whole night trying to get his attention and all of this. But the reality is that, you know, if you're being rude for no reason, you really don't know who knows who, right? And I've noticed that since I've been living over here, not only in Africa or in Europe, you don't know if it's an opportunity. You don't know who's trying to talk to you. You don't know who knows who. So it's clear that you should not have an attitude with people. It's one thing to say, hey, I'm not interested in you or whatever. And I can understand if a man is trying to be disrespectful, but clearly to be rude just because you can, it's out of line. And then on the flip side, you're hypocritical because you're complaining about the attack on femininity, but you use your femininity to get to wherever you want when it comes to the alleged booty clapping conditions that you use to get your success on Fox Sports. That's crazy. On one way, femininity is being hurt, but you use it to your advantage to get to where you want in your life. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea D. Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.